Okay, welcome back to the Virginia Wine Notebook YouTube channel. I'm not going to be doing a series of videos this week on Virginia Wine and Song. I'm going to do something that I've been meaning to do now for a couple of years, and I finally got around to organize it. It is still going to be, we're still going to be doing a little bit of drinking here, but we're not going to be drinking wine, and we're not going to be drinking anything from Virginia. So even though I've got a Virginia brewery cap here on my head and I'm wearing a beer shirt here, we are going to be talking about beer. And what I've been wanting to do, probably since I was in college possibly, is do a taste test comparing really cheap beers to figure out what is the best cheap beer out there, the best tasting cheap beer out there. And I narrowed it down. I picked 6 different brands of really cheap beer, and to do this semi-scientific, quasi-scientific experiment, I've wrapped the cans up in tin foil and put a koozie, different color koozie on each one of them, so you don't know the brand of the beer. So this is truly going to be a blind, cheap beer tasting. And when all is said and done, since it's only me operating the camera here, I'm going to have 6 unopened I'm going to have 6 open cans of beer, cheap beer, that I'll probably either drink or have to dump, one or the other. You know, I'm willing to dump it because I'm not going to drink 6 beers by myself. I'm not that bad, not yet at least. But so we're going to do this. I've been meaning to do this for a while, and I finally decided to figure out a way on how to do it. And I picked these beers out of the supermarket over the last couple of months. And as I bought them, I saved 1 can and wrapped it up in this sort of situation here. So it's been a couple of weeks now, and I honestly don't even remember what the brands are that I bought. I can tell you right now, I did not buy any light beer. So there's not going to be any Bud Light or Miller Lite in this examination. There's not going to be any Coors, because as you can tell, the Coors cans are a slightly taller, more slender shape to them. These are the traditional squatty cans. So no light beer, no Coors brands or Keystone or Michelob Ultra or any of those skinnier cans. No bottles, obviously, because bottles would be too much of a dead giveaway. So anyway, that's the criteria. So I need to go pretty quickly because I got 6 beers I gotta try. And I'm gonna mark them by the color of the koozie. So we're gonna open up the first one. And I'm gonna take 1 sip out of it. Tell you whether I like it or not. I mean, they're all probably not going to be that great. This one is definitely a little bit on the watery side. It's okay. I mean, it's kind of light, but it's definitely, well, they're all going to be watery. When you're used to craft beer, you know, you're not going to be having a really high quality beer experience. That was the orange can. My memory of that was kind of watery. Now I'm going to open up the yellow one, the yellow koozie. I have a feeling I know what this beer is. It's pretty sad because I have had a lot of cheap beers throughout my life, and some of them definitely have a certain definable or easily identifiable, not that great taste to it. I think I know what this one is. It's not really that great, so I'm going to put it over here on the other side here. The left side will be the ones that are okay. The right side will be the ones that are not that great. So let's open up the blue koozie. This is the regular blue koozie here. Let's see what this one tastes like. This one is pretty. This is almost like a lawnmower beer. This has got a real pretty decent taste to it, I have to say. If somebody told me this was a Kolsch from, you know, a Virginia craft brewery, I would believe them. I'm going to actually put this one over here in the good section. So the regular blue koozie, so far of the 3 that I've tried, that's the best one. Now we're going to go on to the green koozie here. Like I said, I'm going to have 6 open cans of beer, but what can you do? It is Saturday night. This was not bad either. So far, the only one I haven't really cared for is the yellow one here. This one here. This one is not as good as the one I just had, but it's not bad. It's so far I probably picked this as number 2. So green is number 2. So I'll put green over here next to the blue. Let's move on to the light blue. I only have 2 more left, and I'm going to do another round, to make sure I remember correctly. I'm only doing 1 sip, by the way. This is the light blue. Let's see how this one comes out. This is also pretty good. This is actually, I think, better than the green. So the regular blue and the light blue are the top 2. I would put this one and the regular blue and the light blue are both equally good. So I'm going to put them at the top. Green is the runner-up. I feel like Lucille Ball pitching Vitamin Vegemin. If you're old enough to remember that episode where she was doing cough syrup on her TV commercial and she was getting drunk. I'm not getting drunk because this is cheap beer, but I'm only having a sip each. Okay, this is the last one. This is the purple koozie. And I see a little bit of the rim of the beer top, so I have an idea of what this one is. So unfortunately, it's not totally blind because the tin foil is kind of receding around the edge, and I can see part of the label, and I think I know what the beer this is. Let me go ahead and taste it anyway. Good. And if it's the beer that I think it is, it'll make sense. Okay, so it's interesting. The green, the purple, the light blue, and the regular blue are the best tasting ones. Let me go back to the ones that I didn't really care for. This is the orange one. This is the first one I tried. It was okay. Let me try it again. Okay, it's definitely got a little bit of a bite to it. It's not terrible, but it's okay. I'll just put that over here, and I'm going to go back to this yellow one here. Now, since I've had those other beers, this one doesn't taste as bad as it was the first time I had it. Still nothing I would probably have. Oh, let's go ahead and reveal these two, because these two are definitely not going to make the top 4. I've narrowed it down to 3. Let me pull up the third one. This is the third one that almost made the cut. Okay, so the one that I didn't care for of these 3 that I just tried is the one in yellow here. Let's reveal it. Let's take a look and take off a koozie and see which beer this is. This one is National Bohemian. The National Bohemian is the one that didn't quite make it. It's still drinkable. It's Baltimore's original beer, although I don't think they make it in Baltimore anymore. I don't think they do. They make it in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. So this is supposed to be a Baltimore beer, but now it's being made in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, which is where they made originally Rolling Rock. So this is the one that of all the 6 that I tried, this is the one I liked the least. It's not bad. It's got a little bit of a bite to it. So National Bohemian. Okay, the next one that I didn't really care for that much was in the orange koozie. Again, none of these were really bad. I wouldn't call any of these beers really bad, but this is definitely one that did not end up in the first batch of great beers. This one is Busch. This is Busch, not Busch Light, or not even Budweiser. I decided to choose either Budweiser or Busch. I picked Busch because it's cheaper. Budweiser actually costs a little bit more, and I didn't want to get two of them from the same brewery, so I got Busch. Again, not too bad. Head for the mountains. It's okay. I mean, again, for cheap beer, if you're going to be watching a game starting around noon and you're going to be drinking all day, you could probably do a lot worse. Okay, let's go on to this one here, the one in the green koozie. This one I thought was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. So we're gonna take off the green koozie. This was actually my favorite of the first three that I tried. So it almost made the cut for the top three. And let's open up the tin foil. This one is Utica Club. And I wasn't even familiar with this beer. I saw it at Giant Food. It was on sale for like, I think it was a 12 pack. They were selling for like $7 of Utica Club from Utica, New York. And like National Bohemian, it's being promoted as an all-American Pilsner beer. I really wanted to get Hamm's, because I actually kind of like Hamm's beer, H-A-M-M-S, Hamm's. But they only had the tall boys, and I couldn't use Hamm's because the can would not have fit in to the blind tasting format. So I couldn't do Hamm's. So Utica Club, I thought, was a pretty good substitute. And it's pretty good. I mean, it's like I said, it was the first three that I tried, it was my favorite one. So now we're down to these last three. And it's interesting because, I don't really remember. I think I know what one of them is. Let's look at the one that I think I know. I think I know this one because, like I said, the rim came. I can see the rim from under the tin foil here. Let's see what this one is. This one's pretty good. And like I said, when I was trying it the first time, I think I have an idea what beer this is. This one is Rolling Rock. Just as I thought. I saw the green, and I said, to myself, I think that's Rolling Rock. This was made in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. It even says on the back, from the glass-lined tanks of old Latrobe. But it's brewed now in St. Louis. Established 1939, Latrobe Brewing Company in Pennsylvania, but it's a product of Anheuser-Busch. They don't put that on the can. But I know damn well this is made in St. Louis now. And I'll drink Rolling Rock before I'll drink Budweiser. And I'll drink Rolling Rock before I'll drink Busch. I said I was not going to get two beers from the same brewery, but I fudged a little bit here. So I just wanted to get Rolling Rock because I really like Rolling Rock. And it's hard to find in cans. I don't know why it's so hard to find Rolling Rock in cans, but I was able to find it somewhere. I can't remember where I was. And I said, well, if it's in cans, I got to get it, because usually you can just get it in bottles. Okay, now we're down to the two that I really, really liked initially. So I think I know what these two are, because again, I bought these beers a couple of months ago, and I drank the other cans that were in the 6-pack or the 12-pack or whatever they were. And so I think I know what these are. And it's kind of surprising to me that these are the ones that I like the best. Again, this is a blind taste test. But I think the reason why I like this, even though it definitely tastes like a cheap beer, it's got a little bit of a flavor to it. It doesn't just taste like flavored water. So let's see what this one is. This one was the light blue koozie. This one is Pabst Blue Ribbon. Frank Booth from Blue Velvet would be very, very proud that I picked this really high. I didn't pick Heineken. This is, I've always liked Blue Ribbon. I mean, I usually don't get it when I go out because I usually go for craft beers when I go out, but if you're just gonna be hanging out for a while and it's cheap, and a lot of these beers are cheap. I think Jimmy's Old Town Tavern in Herndon, Virginia, I think what they have these on happy hour specials at like $3 or $4. So, and this is a beer that I'd like to have in bottles. I like to see that. You can find these in bottles in believe it or not, in Luray, where I live. They have a food line here, and they have Pabst the Ribbon in bottles. That's my preferred way to drink Pabst the Ribbon in bottles. But again, this is the can thing, so I wanted to get them in cans. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit of a buzz here. I gotta pace myself. So this is the regular blue koozie. This is the one that I ranked as number 1. And I think I still do, again, because I think it's got a little bit of a flavor to it that the other ones don't have. So let's see what this one is. This is the last one. If I can get the koozie off. Okay, then I gotta get the tin foil off. Miller High Life. Not Miller Lite. Not Miller Genuine Draft, which is, by the way, back. I saw Miller Genuine Draft in the store the other day. I was like, wow, that was a favorite from college. This is Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. And honestly, I'm surprised I ranked this so high during this blind taste test, because when I was drinking this, when I first bought it, it was okay, but it didn't really blow me away. I really thought that Utica Club or National Bohemian would have ranked a lot higher in this blind tasting. I was surprised. Maybe it's because they were the first ones I tried, and my mouth had not been conditioned yet or primed yet for beer. Yeah, this is pretty good. So let's do a recap here. Again, it's all subjective. You know, I may do a similar taste test in about 6 months from now. It may be totally different. Miller High Life, Pabst Blue Ribbon here. Okay. Busch, head for Busch beer, head for the mountains. Rolling Rock. And then these two, Utica Club. The first beer sold after Prohibition. I wonder how many beers in America have that claim. Because honestly, I've never had this beer before. Like I said, I saw it at Giant, and it was cheap, and I was like, okay, you know, I need another beer from this experiment, and I couldn't find what I really wanted. I was really looking for Genesee, to be honest with you, because I wanted to have, you know, Genesee beer, Rochester's beer on here, but all I could find was cream ale, and I don't like cream ale. Even Total Wine, they used to sell regular Genesee at Total Wine. They don't do that anymore. So, and I almost went up to Pennsylvania to get Straub. And if you're familiar with Western Pennsylvania and the beer scene, you'll know all about Straub. You can only buy Straub in Pennsylvania, and that's actually really good beer. That probably would have won if I had some of that, but I didn't have any with me. And then, of course, last but not least, National Bohemian, Live Pleasantly. It looks like something you should be having in Baltimore. Ironically, they probably do sell this at Camden Yards. But, you know, made in Pennsylvania is not quite the same thing as made in Baltimore. So anyway, that's it. I kept it kind of short, and I hope you enjoyed this little diversion. We'll go back to Virginia Beer and Wine. Lucille Ballmuch, Virginia Wine and Song. We'll go back to that next time. So thanks for watching.